Hello all sentient beings and welcome to Transmissions Alt Mode, where we talk about all news, comics, and media related to the... On this episode of Transmissions Alt Mode, we are joined by Epyk Suicide as we review Transformers Animated Season 1, Episode 6. Transformers Dark of the Moon video game's multiplayer servers got shut down, and we get a peek at Andrew Griffith's cover for Transformers vs. Terminator Issue 3. Today is Friday, March 6th, 2020, and this is episode 171 of Transmissions Alt Mode.
Welcome to Transmissions Alt Mode, the podcast that wants Disney to know that if they're thinking of buying DC Comics, Transmissions is for sale too. I'm your host Charles, aka Big C, and I'm joined by the excellent Transmissions team. Yusuf, better known as Yoshi.
Yo!
Jeremy, aka Yakko.
Hey, how's it going?
It's good. How are you doing?
Great.
And Daryl, the Cybertronian Beast.
Hi. Let's talk Transformers.
All right, and hopefully you listened to the toy show this week because we have our special guest back for Alt Mode. It's
An
Epyk
epic
Suicide.
guest.
Hello.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we're going to talk media, Transformers media. So all about stuff that isn't toys on this show. So lots of good stuff.
Boring.
All right. As always, we start off by thanking our Donatreons, those lovely people who give us money on Patreon and PayPal to help keep the show going. If you would like to join those ranks, just go to transmissionspodcast.com/support. You can also help out the show by buying merchandise from our TeePublic store, and that is at transmissionspodcast.com/shop. You can also check out our friend K-Girl's TeePublic store at tpublic.com/user/superstark. We just had our Toy Hacks $10 gift code drawing in the last Transmissions episode, and congratulations to Tom B. Long, former longtime editor or letterer of Transformers comics at IDW. So congratulations, Tom. All right, let's start off with some comics news. All right, we've got a lot of art and cover stuff being put up, just circulated for upcoming comics. We have the Transformers vs. Terminator series that was just announced, and now Andrew Griffith is doing a cover for issue 3, and you can take a look at that. We've got that in the show notes. It's a very, focuses on the T-800, the old school G1 Terminator, I guess you could call him. But it's a very cool image from our artist friend Andrew Griffith. We've also got
You're not going to talk about the pecs? Okay.
Oh, what do you want to, you can say, what do you want to say?
Optimus Prime is the right pec, and Megatron is the left pec.
Yes, that's true.
You know, for a book where the title of it, the top line is Transformers, I feel like they're being overshadowed a little bit by the Terminator.
It's just one cover, Yoshi. There's plenty of other. I'm sure there'll be plenty of other covers.
Sign of fucking things to come. I'm telling you.
This cover's gorgeous.
I think there's nothing to complain about here. Sorry, what were you saying, Epyk?
Oh, I was just saying it's so they can use their eyes as nipples. That's what's going on there.
All right, so we've got more cover images as well from other upcoming Transformers comics. We've got Transformers Galaxies issue 9, so this is still a few months off from May. And this is art by Kei Zama, who is another longtime Transformers comics artist. This is featuring RC, Greenlight, and the newest Transformers character, Gage. We've got Transformers Galaxies issue 5. We've got a couple of covers. One by Sarah Peter Durocher. And this is another one by Kei Zama. So this is the retailer incentive cover. And issue 5 should be out this week. We didn't get our review copies, but we think it's going to be out. We've also got another cover by Anna Malkova. So the female Transformers artists are representing here on these covers here. And we've also got some line art for the interior of issue 5, and Alex Milne is doing the art for this issue and I believe the next issue of Transformers Galaxies. So we've just got a little preview of that. But if the issue came out on Wednesday, maybe you've all already seen this. So yeah. And yeah, that's all the comics news for this week. Just lots of upcoming cover art and preview art. So we're looking forward to that. All right, we will move on to our review for this week. And with no comic available, we decided to do a classic Transformers animated episode. So Daryl, take it away.
All right. Well, we are doing season 1, episode number 6 of Transformers Animated. This is episode titled Blast from the Past. And it begins with Autobots going to is it a theme park? Or, I don't know. It's supposed to be some kind of
dinosaur theme park.
Yeah, something like that. Anyway, the secondary plot of this episode is Bulkhead is a big klutz. He smashes through the parking lot of the theme park because the parking lot was full, and when they enter the theme park, it's empty. That's one of the things I noticed right away. Where were all the people that drove those cars there? But yeah. Anyway, so they enter this thing. They see all these dinosaurs. They're animatronic, and they start asking questions of their human allies. What's with these giant lizards? And they get a little history lesson. This is very much like the G1 episode that tackles the exact same premise. The humans tell them all about it. Dinosaurs were big. They lived a long time ago and did all this crazy crap, and then they died. But Bulkhead, being Bulkhead, screws up and breaks the animatronic dinosaurs that they got there. The professor guy, he don't remember his name, but he is the one who built this park, and he's going to take those dinosaurs back and repair them. While in his lab, we are shown that it's been revealed a couple episodes prior to, but he has the head of Megatron in his lab, and that's how he's been the super famous inventor guy that he has become. But this is the episode in which Megatron decides to talk to him, and they start talking back and forth, and Megatron convinces him that he is a friend of the Autobots, and that he shouldn't tell them that he's here, because he wants it to be a surprise when he shows up with a new body and whatnot. But he's going to help him repair these dinosaurs for his theme park. This is some kind of master plan that he's going to use to unleash some kind of chaos on the city. Plus, he wants to start building an army of drones. So he builds these things. They've got some kind of connection to Megatron. They go haywire when they're back at the theme park. The Autobots are called in to take care of these things, and they're upgraded. These dinosaurs have been upgraded. They have fire-breathing power now, and they're a lot stronger. But Ratchet and Bumblebee start combining their power of magnetism and electricity to try and battle these guys back. And the little girl, she jumps on and uses her magic key to power them up. And this is the part where they get their spark or the ability to come alive. Megatron senses that he still has a connection to them, but he's not in charge of them anymore. The rest of the episode is the Dinobots and the Autobots kind of fighting each other. They're chasing each other around, kind of trying to the Autobots are trying to wrangle these guys up. At the end of the episode, the Dinobots are thrown into some tar and captured. Bulkhead is given an opportunity to use his big lumbering body to save the day by tackling these giant beasts. It's shown at the very, very end that Prowl, being, sensitive to their, needs, doesn't want them to be deactivated. He finds a nice quiet spot, let's call it Dinobot Island, and puts them there and hides them with a holographic emitter. And that's the end of the episode. What did everyone think? Charles?
I thought this was a cool reimagining of the Dinobots in Transformers Animated. I remember, this show is now, 13 years old? But this was when this came out shortly after the live action movie in 2007. I was happy to see a Transformers show that was, more inspired by G1, I guess. Not, the designs are a little bit more stylized, but very different from the G1 cartoon. But I think the animation is good, and and they took a lot of inspiration from the G1 series in the characters, and seeing the Dinobots reimagined here was cool. And I think they got Greg Berger to voice Grimlock in this episode.
It was David Kaye.
Oh, never mind then. He did a good job. He did a good Greg Berger impression then.
Yeah.
So it was and you do get the little reveal at the very end where Grimlock transforms into a robot. So it was nice to see that there. So yeah, I thought it was good. The Bulkhead stuff was a little silly, but this is aimed at kids, so giving the message of own your clunkiness, I guess. If you're clumsy, don't be ashamed of it, and just try to be your be the best you can be. Mm-hmm. So nice little message for the kids.
Epyk, you got a chance to watch this thing. Have you ever watched Transformers Animated before?
No, I had not.
All right.
And since I had time, and it was only the 6th episode, I did start from the beginning and watch through to the 6th episode, and I will say I was quite surprised. I was really expecting to not like it. I see how the characters are drawn and designed, and I just thought it would be more of geared like just kid humor type stuff. But I actually found myself laughing a lot and really enjoying it. And this episode specifically, I always love the episodes to see how they tie in the Dinobots, because how are you going to tie in dinosaurs, right? Mm-hmm. So to me, it's always amusing to see how they go about it. And I thought they did this in a very fun way. I really like how Megatron is in this show, his personality and everything, even though it's only been a limited amount that we've seen. Mm-hmm. I just like how, I don't know, mean he is.
Sure,
straight to the point. Just good old Megatron. But I really enjoyed how they tied it in, made it like believable, so to say, about how they came about and got created. I actually plan on watching the rest of the show now. Now that I had to watch the 6th episode and I've gone through them, I am excited to see the rest of it.
Awesome. It's been a long time for me since I've sat down and watched this series, and from what I remember, it really gets quite good at the end of the 2nd and into the 3rd season. So
yeah, they have a lot of funny references in it and stuff, and yeah, I just, like I said, the humor surprised me. I didn't expect to laugh as much as I am.
Right on. Yoshi, what was your opinion on this episode?
My dog ate my homework, Daryl.
Did it?
Yes.
I see. Okay. This is a direct reference of the G1 episode, though, so figured you'd be into it.
The real fault is the fact that IDW didn't put out the comic book we were supposed to review.
Was it? Would you have read that?
Or that you don't look at the show notes or the host chat to get the link to watch the episode ahead of time.
Look, I think we need to focus on who's at fault here, and it's IDW. It's not me.
Jeremy. I know you like Transformers Animated, so any chance to rewatch one of these episodes, you're going to jump at.
If it wasn't decided to watch this while I was in Chicago at C2E2, but I have seen the episode before.
All right.
So at least I'm, one up on Yoshi there. But I remember this being a fun episode. I one of the things I loved most about Animated is that it's basically just a reimagining of G1. How can you do G1 without the Dinobots? So it is kind of sad that you don't get the full complement of Dinobots, but 3 of them, it's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
I like how they pull together the Dinobot Island thing.
Yeah, that was from G1, right? Wasn't there a Dinobot Island? Yeah, I thought that was really cool.
And I don't know. It's just I'm not sure if I like the bulkhead thing being a klutz, but maybe that's just me putting Transformers Prime bulkhead in just in my memories, because I like that character so much, and I've probably forgotten how his character was in the Animated when he was first introduced.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first iteration of Bulkhead, or no?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he was introduced in Animated, and then they reused the character in.
Because I can't help but I in this house I just call him Hound, because that's what I see when I see him.
Yeah.
It's like, why not use what we have, guys?
Well, yeah, but why did they have a big bulkhead looking character in a live action movie and they called him Hound? It goes both ways.
The world doesn't make sense.
I know. But I will say one of my favorite, not necessarily this episode, but one of my favorite animated Dinobot memories is from BotCon. I don't know if it's 2011 or 2012, but it might have even been a TFCon. I can't remember now. Everything blends together. But it was David Kaye and Greg Berger singing a version of Anything You Can Do, I Can Do Better. But they were both doing their Grimlocks. Anything you can do, me can do better.
Oh, that's funny.
That was great. I highly recommend the Animated, and I will go back and watch this after the fact as penance.
Yeah, and it's really cool that these are all on TubiTV.com, so you can watch all 3 seasons for free online.
Do we have that affiliate sponsorship? we really need to.
Well, Charles, what did you think?
You asked me first.
Did I?
He gave you a whole thing about it.
I did.
It's late.
I don't know what's going on anymore. Who am I? Yeah. I guess if I'm going to close it out, then I'll do it with myself. I thought this episode was fun. I liked the bulkhead subplot. I thought it was a really good thing. The way, I believe just how you were going to do, I think, Charles, you probably said it then, is that you have him being a klutz and then kind of showing that he's got his, what he sees as a fault or what people are giving him shit for turns out to being what they actually need to save the day, at the end. And that's, some kind of message that kids sometimes need to hear is that, as parents, you kind of give them shit for something and then, maybe that's what you need at certain times. So
I do find that in these type of shows, I usually don't care for these because they usually almost always have this type of second storyline going on. Like in previous episodes of the show, it was how Prowl was always still and then he had to teach Bumblebee to be still and stuff. And it's like, I do get though that it's usually a message for kids and stuff and can appreciate that. But I do always find myself just wishing sometimes that can we not spend time on trying to train Bulkhead to not be so klutz, and can we move on to what's going on with these Dinobots and Megatron? Mm-hmm. But I do get that, it is for kids, and so I like that they put these little cute messages in there for them.
Mm-hmm. Kind of subliminally.
Yeah.
I do really like the idea that Megatron is just a head. I think that's something that the live action movie franchise ends up stealing from Animated later on. So it's something that was pretty cool. The fact that he ends up, conversing with Megatron back and forth is something kind of interesting. I don't know. I thought the show is very fun, and my recollection of the entire series was that the first season generally wasn't the best. So, if you are sticking
kind
with
of
it,
par for the course for Transformers series.
Yeah, exactly. And this episode is fun. So, I mean, if you're sticking with it, then I'm, curious to how you will, find the rest of it. So definitely check back with us after you finish the series. But
sure.
That's a review for Transformers Animated Season 1, Episode 6, Blast from the Past.
All right, and we will go into the future with Transformers media news.
The Transformers Dark of the Moon game for, looks like PC. I don't know if it was on their systems here. It might have been. For PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 still had online servers for its multiplayer component. Anyway, they shut them down this week. So if you have this game and this is something that you enjoyed playing, sorry, it's being discontinued. People are now starting to speculate, well, if they're taking Dark of the Moon down, what about the online servers for, War for Cybertron or Fall of Cybertron? And I'm like, well, I guess nothing lasts forever, guys. So
I'm pretty sure those servers were long gone.
are they? Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
I haven't played that game in a long time. I still have my copies, but I haven't played it in a very long time.
You can't even buy them anymore because Activision lost the license.
Oh, wow. Sorry about your luck. Old games get discontinued. That's what happens. Next up, we got Transformers Rescue Bots Academy Season 2 trailer. If you are, into this show or have someone at home who is into this show, maybe kind of, show them this trailer to get them excited for the next season of Rescue Bots Academy. It's a very fun little show that gets the young ones into Transformers. Soundtrack Saturdays is back. Hasbro Music for the Transformers score. And this time we're talking about, what is it here? The song is Attack, Attack. And it's, I don't see any other information about who did it.
It's the dun 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 dun.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Just play this.
Oh, yeah, that's it. Okay. It's just instrumental, so that's why. Okay, cool. Yeah. So it's composed by Robert J. Walsh and Johnny Douglas. And it's just a almost 3-minute piece of music and instrumental from the G1 TV show. So take a look at that if you like to put together pieces of media that feature Transformers songs and music. That's kind of fun. Next up is the Netflix War for Cybertron Siege official synopsis. I'm not going to read any of that because I don't want to spoil it for anybody, including myself. But the series will run 6 episodes, which
that's short.
We knew. It's very short, yes. Each episode will be 20 minutes long, which is kind of even suckier. And so, this is going to be the constant for the next 2 seasons. And that kind of blows. I was hoping we knew it was going to be 6 episodes. I don't think we really knew the duration of each episode, but I was really hoping for them to be longer than 20 minutes each.
Yeah, especially when there's only 6.
Yeah. So anyway, we're still waiting to see, how these episodes are going to come out. We've got a trailer that came out last week, but I guess we got to wait a little bit longer until
June.
Yeah, it's in June, right? So yeah, the show comes out, and then we'll get some information and get some reactions to that. And lastly, not lastly, we got one more. The Netflix Transformers series. We've got the cast has been revealed. So actually, after last week's announcement of the trailer, we had a whole bunch of people take to Twitter to say, hey, I'm such and such in the Netflix show. I'm such and such, and lots of people basically all kind of claimed their characters and on Twitter. So we've got Jake Fushi as Optimus Prime, Jason Marnosha as Megatron. He's from the
Sassy Megatron.
Yes, he's sassy Megatron from the last series, the
Prime Wars trilogy.
Prime Wars trilogy. That's it.
It was the one good thing.
He was. Lindsay Russo as Lolita 1, Joe Zite or Zija as Bumblebee. Does nobody have a normal last name? Jesus.
Yeah, they're killing you with these last names on here.
As Bumblebee, Frank Tadaro as Starscream, who's another carryover from the Power of the Primes trilogy. Raphael Goldstein as Ratchet, Keith Silverstein as Jetfire, Todd Haberkorn as Shockwave and Red Alert, Edward Bosco as Ultra Magnus and Soundwave, Bill Rogers as Wheeljack, that's a normal name, Sophia Isabella as RC, Brooke Chalmers as Impactor, Sean Hawkins as Mirage, Kaiser Johnson as Ironhide, Miles Luna as Teletran 1 and Cliffjumper, and Mark Witten as Sideswipe and Skywarp. So that's a big cast. Like I'm pretty impressed with that. That's pretty good for a CG style animated show. So yeah, I'm pretty good with that.
They could have cut the budget in half if they just hired Frank to do like 90% of those.
Well, he's expensive though.
Is that really the only reason they didn't get like Peter Cullen and Frank Welker is just because of the cost of them?
Probably.
That's
a lot of these guys, like the Frank Tadaro and John Marchona, they were YouTube or are still YouTube guys, right? So, I can't imagine they cost an awful lot.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so that's the main cast. And does anybody see any names that stand out to you other than the ones that are carryovers from the Prime Wars trilogy?
Not really, no.
No.
I don't really recognize any.
I don't recognize anybody, so yeah.
But I mean, from the trailer, I thought that Optimus Prime wasn't done bad, and
No, it's gonna be good. Yeah, if you're getting the role of Optimus Prime, you've got some shoes to fill, man. That's epic. See what I did? And lastly, this week we've got Transformers Bumblebee Cyberverse Adventures U.S. Cartoon Network premiere is on March 15th, 2020. So that's good news. It's coming. It's going to be in a week and a bit. So that's not very long. Bad news is it's completely aired already in the UK. So
spoilers abound.
It's fully available. You can download it and watch it, or not really download, I don't think, but you can watch it. It's been uploaded. So that kind of sucks that an entire market has seen it before another market. So the coordination on this is not really there. It was also confirmed this week that this is the final season of Cyberverse, which really sucks. But yeah, so we've got 26 episodes from this season, which is more than last season. And I'm going to reiterate a tweet that we got from May Cat, who's been working on the series. And she wrote that, hey, Transformers fans, I love you, and I love how much you're enjoying season 3 of Cyberverse. But if you're in the US, please remember to watch the show when it gets released out there. Use that Cartoon Network app or watch it on Hasbro's YouTube page. Thank you. So they're still looking for the ratings. So even though it's aired completely in another network, they want the ratings. They need the ratings, and well, let's give them the ratings. So I still plan on watching it. I have begun watching it through the other means. I'm very impressed. I'm not shouldn't be surprised, but I'm very pleased with what they're doing, and I'm still gonna rewatch it when it comes out on television. So, but yeah, March 15th it's gonna start, and you're gonna get in a chunk of 4 on that day, 7 a.m. to 7 to 8 o'clock is the chunk of shows. So there you go. And that's it for media news.
All right, let's move on to convention news.
All right. Let's start with TFCon Orlando. We have a couple of announcements here. First one is Josh Burcham will be attending. Artist and colorist on many Transformer series, including the current ongoing. I think he splits coloring duties in some of these, but I mean, he has a very distinct style. And then we also have James Reyes, who's going to attend. He did a number of stuff for Dreamwave, a number of covers for IDW. The promo image here has an Epyk Unicron he did for the Unicron series.
I love his fucking art.
Yeah, he's great, and he's an awesome, nice guy. I've seen him at a few shows, and he's always been awesome to talk to. Also, one announcement I didn't have in the show notes. Alex Milne has posted on Twitter that he's dropping out for various reasons. He will not be in Orlando. So hopefully he'll be in Toronto so people can catch up with him there. Next, we have a small one-day con called ShiroCon. This is in Culver City, California, at the Westfield Culver City. I believe it's a mall. Margaret Scott is going to be there. This is this coming Saturday, March 7th, from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. So it's really short con. But Margaret has done a number of awesome stories with IDW. She's also had her TV stuff has really started to blow up, and then she recently wrote an animated Wonder Woman movie. So still far away from the Transformers stuff now, but
we knew her when.
Yeah, we knew her when. And then finally, FanX Salt Lake Comic Convention has a number of guests that they've announced. This convention will be September 17th through 19th, 2020. And they have announced Peter Cullen, Frank Welker, Rob Paulson, Jess Harnell, and Maurice LaMarche are all going to be there. I know the last three you would think Animaniacs, but they all have Transformer roles. But, Peter Cullen and Frank Welker are the big draws. And I saw this from our friend Nicole Hale on her Facebook. She's been excited about it and posting about it, and that's why I looked it up and saw all these names. So awesome that they're all going to be here. I think FanX Salt Lake is becoming one of the bigger conventions in the country. If you're in the area, check that out. I think that is it for convention news this week.
All right, and we'll finish up the show with a little bit of feedback.
Thanks, Charles. And if you would like to leave us feedback, head on over to transmissionspodcast.com/feedback. There you can leave us a voicemail, you can shoot us an email, you can leave a comment. We will happily share it on our show. And this week we are going to YouTube, where user Pokon writes, I love the Netflix Transformers trailer. Hope it's as good as it looks. I think we all do.
Agree.
I think we all feel that way.
Yeah.
I think it's Pokehan, like Pokemon.
Right. That's why I stalled so you could correct me, but you didn't do it. You left me hanging.
Sorry.
It's okay. We just need to have an episode of Charles correcting everybody.
That's every episode.
So, yeah.
See, there he goes.
So, Pokehan, thank you for your comment. And remember, if you guys want to leave us a comment, head on over to transmissionspodcast.com/feedback, where you will be presented with a myriad of ways to get a hold of us. And that's it for feedback, Charles.
All right, and that will do it for this episode of Transmissions Alt Mode. Again, we want to thank our guest Epyk for joining us this week.
Yeah, thanks again for having me. It was a lot of fun.
And again, you can give your plugs, plug your websites, and for everyone who's listening to this and maybe didn't listen to Transmissions a couple of days ago, but whoever you are, you can get some links.
Yeah, you can check me out on epyksuicide.com, and that's EPYK suicide.com. All my links are available there.
All right. Thanks, everyone, for listening, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 Later.
Hey everyone, thanks for listening to this episode of Transmissions. But just because this episode is over doesn't mean the Transformers fun has to stop. Join us and other Transformers fans on our Discord chat server by visiting transmissionspodcast.com/discord. If you would like to learn more about how you could support the Transmissions Podcast, just visit transmissionspodcast.com/support. Thank you all for listening, and we'll see you again next week.
Why do they have to have a road trip? He can just run there and like, get the MacGuffin for the plot and the movie's over. Why? I'm like, why are they doing this? It was still fine.
You have just destroyed people's childhood, sir. Just completely destroyed it. A MacGuffin! You said a MacGuffin! Also, some of us haven't seen it yet, a-hole.